are facing Liverpool on Sunday in a must-win game for Arne's slot. Could West Ham sack the Liverpool manager? Let's not forget it was around this time, I think, last year, where we sacked Ten Hag and the pressure's on. Could a big West Ham win do the same for Liverpool? And Vladimir Sufal has made some very interesting comments in an interview recently that we'll be going and talking about Graham Potter, the training ground at West Ham, Thomas Souček, all of that stuff. So yes, but it's good to be back, boys.
Good to be back. Good to be back. Let me just read this before we go, though. I said to you last week, would you like to beat an Arsenal fan? And I said many people were. And I tell you what, Dan, 55,000 people did, because Robbie, the Wally, went out first round in the final one standing, and everyone won £1.07. How about that, for instance, right? But don't worry about that, because Robbie don't know his football. They should have picked someone better. I should have been the ambassador, not Robbie's face all over the William Hill banner, because I went even further than him in the first round. But don't worry about that, because the final one standing is starting again, and there's games every single week. All you got to do is pick a Premier League team, and if you win, you're through, and if you draw or lose, you're out. Like Robbie, he's already out, because do you know who he picked? Liverpool, funny enough, and they lost the weekend. But don't worry, £20,000. If you go and sign up for William Hill, you can click the QR code there. Dan, please gamble responsibly. You have to be over 18, a UK or Ireland resident to play, and you have to be over 18, of course. So there we go. But yeah, final one standing, £20,000 in the thingy every single week with William Hill. But yeah, you can be the final one standing, because Robbie certainly isn't. But there we go. But thank you very much to William Hill for sponsoring this video.
There we go. Big thank you to William Hill, and listen, thanks for all the well wishes. And some people are complaining about the timekeeping. Listen, all I'll say is, I'm still not recovered, right? I'm still not recovered. I'm trying to do my setup on my phone, so it is my fault that we are late today. But yeah.
Some of us are sitting here like at 10 to 7 waiting. What can I say, 10 to 8, sorry.
Yeah. I was here 5 to 8, Scott, don't worry.
You was, mate. You was with me.
I was here, but I just wasn't ready. I'm trying to technology.
We've got the thing is with everyone, I can click between the comments, because as you can see, I ain't got my normal setup either, because I'm building a studio in my back garden, so that is going to be ready for next week. But I might not be here next week to use the studio. But I have had a studio built out in the back garden, so everything's gone from my setup and it's going out right out there. I've got one in my back garden right now. It's built, it's just got to have the electrics put in and everything else, but it's going to be a proper studio. And I'm looking for decoration ideas, people, because I am a shit decorator. I know I've got some acoustic wall going up on there, and I've got some sign shirts and things, but I'm looking for decoration ideas. I need to put up some shelves. I need to put some West Ham stuff in there. I need to put some lighting in there. We've got that already. But yeah, I'm going to be taking decoration ideas for the new studio.
I think some people are saying you need to take fashion ideas. What the fuck is that bucket hat? Says Mark. he's not just.
I've been to Oasis once or twice. Once or twice I've been to Oasis.
Is that a Yoshi bucket hat?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's from Super Nintendo World.
Right, and so let's say he's been to Oasis a couple of times.
And it's a reversible. Look.
Oh, so if you just want it, okay, I see.
Well, my hair's in state, so I'm going to wear this hat today, I think.
And you're going to get it in the.
And it goes with my retro goalkeeper shirt.
It does.
And it goes with my retro trousers.
Colours matching.
You've picked the most Larry side to have it out in.
Yeah, I like all the different colour Yoshis. Look.
There we go.
Can't really see because I've gone boss-eyed.
Oh, mate. Corral says, 49 super chat. Thank you very much, mate. Evening all. Should win on Sunday. Yeah, I feel Nuno will bottle it and will miss a trick for what would be 3 huge points and a morale booster. Matt WHU Rainey, member for 1 month. Thank you very much, Matt. Fucking love you, lads, and this community. Seeing my boy tomorrow, first time since Jan, and he is 6 on Monday. 3 points on Sunday, please. Come on, your irons. Really happy for you, Matt. Hope you and your
really
boy
happy,
have
mate.
a great day,
Well
mate.
done.
Absolutely. So yeah, right. As we get back into the swing of things, this Liverpool game, as I pointed out, it is almost a year to the day almost that we sacked Ten Hag. And
Yeah.
it would be the pressure is massive on.
Wow, what did you just say?
It's almost a year to the day we sacked Ten Hag, isn't it?
We never had Ten Hag.
No.
What do you mean? No, we sacked him we beat Man United.
Oh, okay. We fucking sacked him. I was going to say, what did I miss?
We caused him to be sacked. You know what I mean? So now they're arch rivals. We play, and if they lose this game, I mean, look, he did win the league last season, but they've lost they lost 9 games this season or something mental. I'm sorry, just putting this on top of my head. I haven't checked.
Worst run of form for donkey's years. I think they've lost 9 of the last 12 or something like that, haven't they?
Do you know what? Listen, I like Liverpool as a football club. I always like Liverpool as a football club. They're proper people, come from a working class area, blah, blah, blah. They are a bit entitled sometimes. They are a bit entitled and they won't hear any sort of criticism towards any of their players, yeah? But I'm looking at Liverpool now. Salah's legs are gone. They're gone. Like, he's a year over his sell-by date. Like, and listen, he's one of the greatest wingers that has ever graced his Premier League, without a doubt, right? But age catches up with everybody, right? And they should have got rid of him last year. And the same's happening to Van Dijk. Van Dijk is struggling. You know, if you'd have listened to Liverpool fans, he's the greatest defender that's ever lived. Kanate is... I mean, fuck me, I thought we had bad defenders, but he is something else. Like, if you see him on... Huh?
He used to be good once upon a time.
Yeah, but they're struggling. The pair of them are struggling. But as I say, they've got to a point where they're in transition. Liverpool, right? They got the last of the sort of swan song out of Salah and Van Dijk last year, where they was immense. Now ages they're in decline. Both of them are in decline, right? They need replacing, both of them. You know, they're not the greats that they used to be. And they're in transition. Wirtz hasn't quite, worked out. But listen, I don't give a shit about Liverpool, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm worried about West Ham United. And what I see now, after what I see at Bournemouth, we can get at Liverpool. We can get at them at home. If the crowd are right, if the crowd are rapturous and all that, we can get at them. You know, if you remember, we had a good game against them when they was title contenders and we beat them 4-2. We need that sort of energy again in that, because Bowen can get at them defenders, Wilson can definitely get at them defenders, but as someone's already said, we cannot, Nuno, bottle it and start to sort of go into regression. We're going to regression in this game, we'll lose.
And exactly what's going to happen, mate, listen, after what I see at the end of Bournemouth, we ain't got a chance in hell in winning this game. We ain't got a chance in hell winning this game. And I hope I'm wrong, but I very much doubt it. You see PSV the other night, they had a go at Liverpool. We're not going to have a go at Liverpool. We're going to sit off Liverpool. We're going to invite Liverpool to attack us, and we're going to come unstuck. All them players you just said, Salah's been terrible form. Isak's not scored a goal or hasn't scored for a long time. Van Dijk's been awful. The other centre-half's been dog awful. The fact that you see clips of Jamie Carragher sitting there saying that the manager should be sacked just for picking him, goes to show how bad he's been. All these players are going to step up to the plate because Nuno's going to bottle it and we're going to get beat 3-0. And guarantee, mark my words. And someone said in the comments there, if Nuno loses, he should go. If Slot loses, he should go. Look, Slot won the league last year.
No. How can you... I mean, whoever's... Put that up and put the comment up there, Dan, please. Put the comment up there. Because, Scott, I'm sick of this. Listen, Nuno's made mistakes, mate. And I'm not defending him. He's made mistakes, right? And he made a mistake last week. But he's on the back of 2 wins and a draw in games where we didn't even think we'd get a point.
Mm-hmm.
That's incredibly harsh, mate.
I don't think so. As I said, we should, as a Turk ran and said to you last week.
Scotty, come on. Bounce. Wobble your head. Wobble your little head. Stop wearing your hat so tight and wobble your head, please. Because you're crazy.
as I turned around and said to you, you look at right when we went off air last week, right? I turned around and said to you, look at what the stats for Bournemouth were when Souček come on the pitch. I know we scored the third goal, right? But Burnley then dominated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nuno bottles it, right? As I said to you, the mistakes that he made in the first two games, the game against Brentford and Leeds, still not come out and explained it all. Yeah, the decision making against Bournemouth, absolutely diabolical. And as I said to you, he's just picked the team that all of us sitting here would have picked. Right? He's not done anything different.
I'm going to tell you what the problem is here, Scott. Right? I'm going to tell you what the problem is with Nuno and that. Nuno is going to play this way, right? And you've got to accept that, right? He wants to play this way, yeah. And this is the way he's going to play. The problem is with Nuno, he has not got the players to play it, right? But what he's trying to do is he's trying to set the precedent, yeah, of how he wants to play, and he's trying to teach the players and breed it into the players how he wants to play, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's going to be people coming in. It isn't Nuno's team. It's Potter's team, which is a hodgepodge of shit. Let's be honest with you. It's got a lot of shit in it, and it needs to be stripped out, and it needs to be Nuno. Talking about sacking the manager after 2 wins and a fucking draw, right? 5 games after, or 7 games after we just got him, is fucking madness, right? Listen, stop wearing your hat so tight. It's affecting your brain.
But listen, right, and this is the thing, yeah, because I'm normally the one that gives managers time. I didn't give Potter no time because I turned around and said how bad he was from when we actually got him, right? And Nuno now, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. Nick, you can't sit there.
Seeing what, though? I've seen 2 wins and a draw.
You've seen 2 wins and a draw. What did you see against Bournemouth? Yeah, we got a draw. We were 2-0 up.
Yeah, but to be fair, Scott, we probably weren't expecting. I don't think any of us were expecting to be 2-0 up.
It doesn't matter whether we were expecting it or not, right? It doesn't matter whether you're expecting to do anything. You're 2-0 up and you throw away a 2-0 lead by your incompetence.
We've seen that I've seen that, Scott. I'll go back 20 years. I remember us being 3-0 up against Wimbledon and losing 4-3. I remember being fucking 3-0 up against West Brom and losing 4-3, both in the Championship. Like it doesn't define a manager. Them managers do that. He wants to play like that. He's making mistakes, right? And I'd rather him make mistakes early and then get it right. Listen, them 2 games against Leeds and Brentford, awful decisions, right? But he hasn't done it since, right? And he's learned his lesson. All right, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, he hasn't done that since. He's had a good look at what he's got. He's still learning. He's still early in his tenure, and there is a lot of shit in there. Like, look at the players he's got on the bench. He's got Andy Irving, right? He's got Thomas Souček. Well, let's be honest, he ain't got fuck all on the bench. Fulkrug. He come on the other day, mate. He might as well have been on holiday. He looked like he had a bit of a tan and all. You know what I mean? To be quite honest with you.
Let's be honest, right? And this ain't defending him because he hasn't pulled up any trees, right? But at the end of the day, the manager brings him on, right? Takes off the only player we've got in the midfield, barring Potts, who can run about. Yeah,
I agree, mate. I agree. They're bad decisions, mate. But you've got to base a man on the rectifications of his mistakes. You can't blame him for making mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, right?
On the what?
And he's new. The rectification. So he rectifying your mistakes.
But I get you rectify your mistakes. So the mistakes he made against Brentford, he never rectified against Leeds. Yeah. The mistakes he made against Leeds, he just picked the team that we were all sitting there to pick, right? Giving him the opportunity, he still brings on slow players. And the mistakes he made against Bournemouth are no different to the mistakes he made against Brentford and Leeds.
And see, did you go to school with him? Did he used to nick your lunch money or something? Because there's something going on here.
Hold up. Let me jump.
You can sit there and look at the decisions that he made against Bournemouth, yeah? Right? Them decisions there are no different to the 2 decisions he made against Leeds and Brentford. Every single one of us knows you don't take off the players that have got pace in your side. Yeah? That's what he did. He brings on no legs. No legs whatsoever. We started the game with a back 5. He takes an attacking player off. When he's got other attacking players, whether they're any good, it don't matter. But he's got other attacking players on the bench. He brings on a defender to play in an attacking position. So you've got 6 defenders on him. You don't even try and switch the left winger who can actually get forward for a right back. Yeah. There's no justification in his decisions. Bringing on Souček on the 52nd minute, no justification. When you've got a striker who you're trying to get minutes into his legs more and more, and he's on a hat trick, the guy's going to be buzzing. Yeah. So you're making that mistake, bringing on low legs. Right. The whole concept of Bournemouth didn't do nothing different. Yeah, we just let them do things different.
No, yeah. The players that we brought into the game.
The manager. That's all on the manager.
Yeah, it is on the manager. It is on the manager.
That's why I'm still not having him, and I won't have him until he proves me wrong.
He's just won 2 games and drew 1 though.
Well, yeah, all right. Wait,
I could have fucking won them 2 games and drew that with them with them players. It ain't hard. It's not rocket science.
All right.
You know, this is what I'm saying. And the thing is, case in point at the moment, Arne Slot last season. Yeah, Liverpool.
Scott won the Ilford District Cup once. He's all of a sudden he's a Premier League manager.
Listen, you look at Slot last season. Liverpool absolutely brilliant with Klopp side. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Frank Lampard, when he was at Chelsea, did great when he couldn't sign players and he had to have the players that were there before. As soon as he started bringing his own players, all went peach on.
I do think we are a different kettle of fish than Liverpool, though. We didn't start with anything good. We started with shit.
No, and Nick, I'm not disagreeing with you there, mate. I totally agree with you. The squad that he's got to work from is very, very poor, right? But the decisions he's making with that squad are not good enough. That's how I see it.
Right, for fuck's sake,
No, do you know what? Listen, I'll see.
Nick, for 1 second, man.
Sorry. I'm just saying. I'm just telling you about the chat. I'm reading the chat. Yeah, it's very split. I love that. I love that about the chat. I love it. Just people agreeing with you, people agreeing with me. That's great. Fantastic one.
Love the chat. Keep it up, chat.
Yeah, definitely.
Fucking hell. Yeah, Bournemouth was a massive fuck up. Agreed. Started well. Honestly, it's my train of thought. You two were endless. Yeah. Honestly, the second half, unforgivable. Absolutely unforgivable. In the context of the game. Awful. One of the most pathetic one-sided displays I've ever seen from a West Ham team. However, looking at the bigger picture, he has made mistakes, Nuno. But we can't sit here be talking about sacking anyone, whoever it is at this stage. Like when we got Nuno, I said, if he takes us down, I'm sticking with it. I'm not doing the manager thing anymore. I don't want to do manager merry-go-rounds. Let him get some players in, let him build. The end of the day, it's a results-based game, and it is frustrating. Some of these decision making, like I said, those 2 lineups he played against Leeds and Brentford were fucking awful. They were absolutely shocking. But after that, 2 wins. Bournemouth, we started well, and we didn't expect it. It's just that second half, you just can't do that. You just can't go into your shell like that. I think losing Somerville was a bit of a blow for that game because that is our pace on the left. But listen, Nuno, if we lose against Liverpool, to sack him because we've lost against Liverpool at home, probably one of the most difficult places for us to play football at home is crazy talk. And I know Liverpool are shit, and this now is a winnable game. Of course, it's a winnable game, but they've still got world-class players that can hurt us. I think the context of the game is important.
Yeah, you got to think like Liverpool they're still the champions. Yeah. And as I say, they've got people like Isak and Verts that haven't hit the ground running. They're going to hit the ground running at some point. Yeah. And, this run of form can't last forever. But what we've got to do is like Nottingham Forest. I watched that Forest game last week. I rewatched it just to see what sort of context it was. And they absolutely went at them. And that's what you've got to do. You don't let up on them because they've got defenders there, yeah. And we've got the quality of attack. Wilson last week was brilliant, yeah. It's just how long Wilson can go for, right? Off the bench though, nothing. I don't know whether we should be bringing Paquetá back in. I don't know whether we should be bringing Somerville back in. You know what I mean? We could go again with the same. But I think the energy in midfield could surprise them, yeah. And I think the quality of attack. the thing about them two defenders is they can't concentrate. If you look at them, Van Dijk is old. He's getting past it, right? He can't concentrate for 90 minutes, right? Kanate can't concentrate for 5, from what I can see. Yeah. So if we're at it like last week and we're relentless on the attack, we will catch them out a couple of times. It's just what we do after that, right? We cannot, and I'm going to say this, and I've defended Nuno and I've defended him with my life, but we cannot make the same mistakes as last week because we will lose the game. Yeah, we will lose because Isaac Ekatike might be out, which is going to be a massive bonus, I think, because he's their best attacker. But Isaac's got to run. He's got to hit the ground running at some point, right? So what we've got to do is we've got to be on it. Listen, I think Todibo has been great. I think he was great last week. I think he was great the week before, right? He's improving. The one that ain't improving is Kilman.
Yeah.
Mavropanos is back.
Kilman, that mistake, that's not on Nuno. I mean, it kind of is because the pressure, but that is the guy's shit, man.
It was 2. He got spanned like a bitch.
Yeah.
Kilman is to be honest with you, he's our worst defender, right? And you know, if you look at the consistency of how we've been conceding goals and things, right? The only mainstay in there is Kilman, right?
Yeah.
Mavropanos has come out, and if they've tried everything apart from dropping Kilman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we're still conceding goals every time. Todibos look great, yeah. Mavropanos, listen, I said last season Mavropanos can't play another fucking game for West Ham. At the end of the day, he's probably our best defender at the minute, right? So he's got to come back in for me, right? And and Kilman, he's got a bit of problem. Like they've tried everything except for dropping Kilman.
The thing is,
that is on Nuno. Yeah. But it was on Potter as well. So
no, but to be fair though, he's only had Igor. Igor looks a bit.
Igor looks all right. No, I forgot about Igor. Yeah.
Fit and Todibo's fit, and he's still picking Kilman. Then I'm going to be looking at Nuno. So what the fuck?
The thing is that I liked the back 5 against Bournemouth. Right? I didn't mind the back 5. It looked good. You know, they were Igor slotted in really well, and I think if you were to bring Mavropanos into that back 5 for Kilman, I think is a bit more. We're a bit more solid there, you know, because I thought first half we did defend really, really well. I think I'm with you. I don't know whether it bring Paquetá back in, but I think Somerville coming in, if he sticks with that same system, with the same 11 barring Guilherme and bring Somerville in, I'll be quite happy with that and have Paquetá on the bench because then at least you've got a bit of an impact to bring on.
Yeah.
We did miss Paquetá as well. Yeah. Like so, Paquetá and Somerville, to lose those two very key players. We done very well to be 2-0 up in that first half. Again, it's just game management. And the good thing is, he actually admitted that he should have kept Wilson on a bit longer. You know what I mean?
That for me, I think that says you know he went too early, right? But and to admit it takes a big man to admit your mistakes, right? But listen, I think we're going to win Sunday. I think we're going to win Sunday,
mate. The problem is we've all been around long enough at West Ham, right? This is what does me in, right? It's the hope that kills you, right? We know if we play like the way we did first half against Bournemouth, we can go at them, we can beat them, right? But we've all been there and seen a player hasn't scored all season, hasn't got his first goal for the club. Who do they play? West Ham.
Yeah.
Players out of form.
No, I understand.
You know, and this is it. Look, you know me. I'm optimistic. I'm always optimistic. For some reason, these past 2 managers, I've lost all my optimism in West Ham, and I just feel that it's going to be one of them games where they turn up, where a Salah turns up, where an Isak turns up. You know, players that haven't set the world alight this season, and they go and get the goals. And I just don't think that we've got the capability to deal with that if they do. Listen, if what you saw against PSV and what you saw against Nottingham Forest turns up, we've got a very good chance of winning this game so long as we don't bottle it. And that is what worries me because he just seems to bottle it.
I think it's fine to go defensive and see how you just can't just stick everyone at the back and have no intent to offer any threat because then the opposition can just throw their whole team on the edge of your box and they know you're not going to offer any counter. There's going to be
that's what happened on Sunday.
Yeah,
going. Yeah,
Exactly.
And that's what you can't do.
The centre halves are playing at the edge of our box.
Yeah, this is it. Like, if you're going to go a bit more defensive, do that, but make sure you have an outlet. And there was no outlet.
No, you could, and that's what I'm saying. You know, Fulkrug gets all the criticism for being thrown in the situation.
Mate, that was a fucking disgrace from him, mate.
But the thing is, I'm not defending him in his performance. What I'm saying is, he's coming on at a time when we're camped out in our own third. We ain't even camped out in our own half. We're camped out in our own third.
But what he was doing, Wilson, and he should be doing the same. He should be hassling people. He's a centre forward. Souček's ain't a centre forward. I can understand it from Souček, but what he should be doing, man. I watched him 4 yards from a ball jogging, walking.
Which isn't acceptable, and I totally agree with that.
No, it's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. That's fucking disgraceful. He's got one eye on a move. He's going. His agent's has already flattened him about like a fucking hooker. So
that's what annoys me. When you look at it, he took the other young lad, the centre forward, didn't he? Because he's been impressive with him in training.
Yeah. Put him on.
Exactly.
Put him on.
He done it with Marshall against Arsenal. Pick Marshall over.
He should have put Marshall one on a bench, though, was he?
No, he wasn't. And the thing is, he's been playing for the under-21s. You know, why are we not using that? You know, why are we not looking at that? Well, Fulkrug's got half a foot out the door already. He don't want to be here. He's got no pace. He's not offering nothing. Two young, hungry strikers. One you've been impressed with, that's been training with you over the international break, and then Marshall, who you've seen before, who you've used, and who, if we remember rightly, if the rumours are true, he never fancied Wilson. So we need to remember that, you know, because he put Marshall on in front of him, you know, and Wilson
I do think he fancied Wilson. I think it was a money thing.
Well, listen, I hope that is the case.
He's undroppable.
This is that again. It's just what I don't understand. George Urphy was back on the bench. He could have been a replacement for Guilherme. You know, these
people just getting back, Scott. He hasn't probably seen them. You got to think about these things. He's just got here. Just arrived here. Over.
Nick, you've picked a striker, a young striker who you've played with, who you've seen and you've seen playing in training, who you've been impressed with. You've done it with Marshall. You've given Marshall a go. Why couldn't you do it with that young kid?
Yeah.
Not saying. Listen, I ain't saying.
I agree. I don't want to see people that don't want to be here playing. I don't want to see people like Fulkrug. Look, Fulkrug was very impressive in pre-season, but there's obviously like an issue because his agents come out and turn around and said he wants to go. He doesn't fancy it here. He wants to go out and fucking play silly buggers over in Italy and take it easy. That's fine. That's fine. Well, fuck off then and leave your money here behind you. You know what I mean? Like these people are happy enough to take the money, but the other day what I see from him is a disgrace. And listen, I can 100%. Sort of forgive lack of effort, lack of talent. I can't forgive lack of effort. I can't.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, so if you don't want to, like, put young, hungry players on it. And listen, there's no coincidence that we've started playing Potts. And I don't particularly think Potts had a great game the other day, but it's his leadership and it's the way he talks and it's the way he cares. And you know, you see him, everything he does, he's doing it for the team. Yeah. And that sort of starts to rectify through because the others are not doing it for the team. Like Fulkrug's are doing it for himself. So don't play him. I'd rather see a kid come on than watch Fulkrug come on. No matter how much money you're paying him and all that. Like, fuck him off. Get him out of the squad. I see him and fucking Andy Irving going out eating some sort of fucking food the other day. That's about what their level is. That's what they should be doing for the fucking club. They should be serving the fucking pie mash out on the fucking out on the terraces at after. That's what they should be doing because that's the effort levels that both of them cunts put in. So, like, do not. I wouldn't put them in the squad.
The thing is, you've got to have when you and I said this. You've got when you're down there and all that. You need players who are going to be positive and you know and good squad players, good team players. You know, you look at Rodriguez, right? Rodriguez, when you see him on the bench and look at the people when, you know, I'll go back to when Souček come on against either Newcastle or Burnley and you see Rodriguez in there geeing him up, you know, he's a good squad player. He ain't good enough to be playing, but he's a good player there to have it around the squad and around the bench because he's G'ing the players up, he's getting the players. And I think the big difference when you look at Todibo recently, you're saying about Potts' leadership, Todibo's been leading from the back. Todibo's been more commanding,
But I think,
and it's what we've lacked. We've lacked.
but I think
leaders.
that's what Pops has brought into the team. He is communicating. He's 24/7 talking to the defenders, and I think that's been evident. What's been going on? There is a lack of communication, and there has been a lack of communication. There's a reason why we've conceded 9 corners. Because they're not talking to each other. Then all of a sudden, Pops is constantly talking, and I think that brings the confidence out of people like Todibo. I really do.
He was the one trying to actually G the players up to go forward. Right? Want us to go back, and that's a testament to him that he can say, do you know what? Forget what the manager's saying. We need to try and get forward more. This isn't good. And it shows he's got his sort of wise beyond his years. Really excited for him, and the fact that Potter didn't fancy him shows what a clown he is, honestly. And we'll talk a bit about him in a minute. Can't stand that bloke. Let me read some comments out. Good evening.
Can you
Nicky.
drop me out a minute, Dan? While I can just go and get my charger and get my drink and that.
All right. Let me switch to 2-man mode. Right. Okay. There we go. Is that? I'll drop that out as well.
That's 3-man, man.
That's 3-man. 2-man. Right. Where the fuck is 2-man mode? Right. I've made. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. Good. All right. I might get a word in now. Right. Let's read some comments. Good evening, Nicky and Dan and Scott. We have a great chance to beat Liverpool as they are not playing well. We should keep Callum Wilson playing. He is scoring goals. Yeah, we bloody well should. Anything but a Wilson start would lead to major scrutiny for Nuno, and deserved. Those 2 goals were class, absolute class, proper striker.
You are right. They were banging goals last week, and it's what we've been missing for so long. A striker that just knows where the goal is and ain't scared to shoot. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Start with an attacking lineup, no defensive changes, and we get a win on Sunday. I don't know about that. I think if you can drop fucking Kilman the clown, I think we may have a better chance. That guy's working against us. 40 million fucking pounds, mate. 40 million pounds. We've been scammed. We need to report a crime, a scam against Wolverhampton Wanderers. That has got to be, mate, some of the worst, probably the worst business we've ever done.
I'll tell you something, his agent needs a royalty at 40 million quid.
Fucking hell. He deserves every penny of those agents' fees, that agent. Fucking hell. I can't get over it. And some people wanted him to be our captain. I've never let that go, Scott.
No, you ain't. No, you're going to keep one of that.
Wilson is targeting 100 Premier League goals. He's hungry. Just play him. Yeah. That's it. You can see it. You can see how much it means.
The thing is, for me, Dan, is like you know a player like you. As I said, from what I know of players, when you talk to players, when they're on 2 goals, especially strikers, they're buzzing. You know, they want every single ball to come to them. They want every pass, because they want to go and get that hat trick, right? And you see when he come off, the disappointment. He's shaking his head, and he ain't shaking his head because he's got an injury and he needs to come off. He's shaking his head because he's disappointed. He's been pulled off at 2-0 and he's on a hat trick, and that says a lot. Do you know what I mean? For me, in the player, if he hasn't got the legs, right, and he doesn't feel we can contribute anymore, there's no way he's shaking his head about him coming off the pitch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm very much a believer even though he has his injury problems, even though he's 33 years old, he can last to 70 minutes because you're giving him, you've got to build up minutes in his legs. Do you know what I mean? You don't play him the first game and expect him, boom, to run out for 90 minutes. You build him up. He's been pulled off 60 minutes. You can't tell me you couldn't have gone another 5 to 10 minutes. Giving him till 70 to get his hat trick.
But I said at least, it was a big mistake. But at least he admitted, I fucked up there. He thought he'd bring on Souček as a fresh pair of legs. And look, it worked before when Souček come off the bill. It was Souček coming and worked before. Yeah,
it works, but you concede a lot of ground. And this is what I said
Yeah.
when you look at Burnley. When he come against Burnley were the better side when we scored that third goal. You know, and if that game had probably gone on another 10 minutes after Cullen scores, they go and get an equaliser because we're conceding the pitch. We're getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Yeah.
And you've got no pace. And that was the big key factor. You know, at least when against Burnley you still had Bowen, you still had Somerville. You know, we were camped in our own third and you're taking off pace to bring on a slow player.
Yeah, there's a lot to improve, but I will say one thing now. Under Nuno, I'm not worried about relegation. I'm very confident that we'll
if he keeps making mistakes like he did Sunday, mate, I'm really worried about it.
But he's picking up points still. Do you know what I mean? 7 points from 9.
This is the thing, Dan. I totally agree with you. 7 points. I do. 7 points from 9
just
is
in the grand scheme
point.
of relegation. I get what you're saying. It is concerning if he keeps making these mistakes, but I'm just saying for this season, I still think under Nuno, if he's making these mistakes, we still pick up more points than the teams that are going to go. There's going to be 3 worse teams. So
Dan, I don't think we're going to go down. I don't think we're going to go. I just want to stop seeing these silly decisions.
Yeah, 100%. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
you know. Steve WHE Bell 499 super chat. Good old Steve. Thanks, mate. There's evening all. Fucking hell.
Sorry, I'm laughing, right? People can't see.
This is some mukbang action going on here. What is this? You can't see Nicky's
camera's hilarious. Sorry.
Eating. Get well soon, Bonzo. Fully agree, mate. 100%. The West Ham legend. Love him. So yeah, Nicky's just completely thrown us there.
He's ready to come in, Dan. Bring him in.
He's ready to come in. No, he can't add himself in. Right. He's fully. He's disposing of the evidence.
Kick the cat out of the way.
He's back. Right. Let me get him free, man. Oh wait. Hold up.
Who's this geezer? Hello.
Hang on, hold on.
Hey.
There you go. He's back.
I can't hear
There
nothing.
we go.
There we go.
Right, here we go. Yeah, no, it's just the way. I'm not expecting to beat Liverpool. We're going to allow Liverpool to play. I'm hoping we rise to the team, to the occasion, and we play, like it's a big team, and they actually turn up for it.
I'm hoping the same. I really am hoping the same.
Play against the badge, not the form,
Yep.
And we play like we have to put that shift in. Rich, £5 super chat. What's happening to Billy Bonds? I think he's just going through poor health at the moment. Last I heard, he had some health issues. So yeah, much love to Bonzo. David here says, I called for Nuno after Palace game, and I know we will be okay, but that's all we will be under him, just okay. He will forever make stupid decisions and cost us, right? I get that. So if you think Nuno ain't the guy, right? Let me put this to everyone, and this includes you. So some people that think you're not having Nuno, or you think he should go, or whatever, right? Do you not think the best scenario is, if you think we'll stay up under Nuno, is to stick with Nuno now until a better manager comes up? Because, if we sack Nuno now, who the hell do we go and get? Like, Will Still, like, what? Who's out there? Like, what are who can we get? And I know people ask that because it's like, it's the club's job to find it, and there's loads of managers out there. But just the timing of it is such a tough time. Unless that manager comes available, like when we got Nuno, it was an opportunity, right? He became available at the time we sacked Graham Potter, so we upgraded. Unless there's that clear upgrade available, I don't see the sense and the point of sacking Nuno mid-season. Personally,
it's not. This is the thing, is like you said.
Scott's mad. He's crazy.
Listen, and I never actually called for Nuno to be sacked.
Scott's muted.
No, but you said if we lose against Liverpool, you did say that.
I can't hear Scott. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear Scott.
Oh, that's good. Leave it like that.
Right. So I'll say this because Scott's saying he never called for Nuno to be sacked, but you did say, Scott, that if we lose against Liverpool, you think he should be. You did say
I
that.
he should be.
He said he should be sacked last week.
I didn't say
Did he?
Yeah.
I turned around and said his decision making was off. I never called for him to be sacked.
Did you, Scott's? You never said, right? Because I wasn't here last week. I was away. Scott's denying that he said he should be sacked last week. I didn't see it. Did he?
Right, there's people in the chat here. He said something of that ilk. I'm sure of it. I am fucking sure of it. He said he should be gone. He should be this. He should be that. I'm sure of it.
The problem we've got is that, like you said, Dan, there's nobody out.
I can't hear him, Dan.
Try and leave, because I can hear both of you. Scott
Right,
can hear both of us. Are you sure you never said that? Someone go get the evidence.
Mate, I'll have to listen. I was very angry last week, so I may have said that. But listen, I'm with you. There's not much point in it, right? I'm pissed off with his decision making. Right, that's the thing for me, is I'm not happy with how his decision making's been, the way he's been. You know, I've called him a fraud, and I'm still sticking by that at the moment, because he's not done anything to prove me wrong. Right, and that's my stance. And Dan, you know me, mate. I'm the most optimistic one normally out of all of us, and I always defend the managers. But these last two, I can't defend.
Yeah, no, that's I hear it, mate. Listen, I hear it. So apparently you did say something along those lines.
Yeah, I probably did.
All right, he's back. Oh my god, right. Yeah, so Scott did say something along those lines. Everyone's confirmed it. Can you hear Scott now?
Can you hear me, Nick?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, what I would say, Scott, is with Nuno, like, if we did lose, say something along the similar lines, right? He made a mad decision that cost us the game. Along the lines of Bournemouth, would you want him gone?
If he makes another bad decision along the likes of Bournemouth, in the sense of he's not learnt from the mistakes he's made?
Yeah, so like, he does something against Liverpool where he makes a decision, takes a player off, brings a player on, and it ultimately costs us the win. Would you?
Do you know what? Right, I'm gonna stand by it. Yeah. Okay. Because you're not learning, you're not evolving. You can't sit there. You work with these players day in, day out, right? Yeah. So you're sitting there and you're working with, and you're still making them same mistakes, and he makes the same mistakes again. You know, he's got to live and die on his sword, mate.
Let me ask you a question. Where was you on Moyes?
Where was I on Moyes? On the fence the whole time.
On the fence the whole time, right?
Till the end.
So, and I'm going to tell you this now, right? I was Moyes out at the end, right? And listen, in hindsight, it looks like a mad decision, but I will stick by my decision. And I'll tell you why I stick by my decision. Because you are sitting there on the fence about David Moyes, right? And listen, David Moyes gave me some of the best days as a West Ham fan that I've ever had. Yeah. He was fantastic, right? But he was in decline. And the squad was in decline, right? Yep. And I think we would have been in a similar position if he had stayed. And that's just my opinion. Yep. And other people have different opinions. There was a lot of turmoil, right? That man never learned from his mistakes. Never. Never, ever. Right?
But that man never made decisions like that cost us points.
Oh, he did. He fucking did, mate. He did. Trust me.
One of the biggest mistakes he made was when we went away to Leverkusen and defended the way we defended and come unstuck.
Yeah, and listen, I don't want to sit here slagging Moyes off, right? Because the Moyes saga is over. And as I said, when all was said and done, at the end of the day, that man brought me some of the best days I've ever had, right? Travelling around Europe for them 3 years was the best days I've ever had as a West Ham fan. Winning that cup was the best night I've ever had as a West Ham fan. But the facts are the facts. And he made the same mistakes week in, week out. We used to sit here. I remember specifically sitting here saying the definition of madness is doing the same things over and over and expecting different results. And I was talking about David Moyes. And listen, and you're on the fence about him. Like, the man has just got here. Are you going to be on the fence about him if he does it down the line? Listen, if he does it down the line, but we've got like a Moyes level manager, right? Because Nuno can be that. Like, he nearly got Nottingham Forest to the Champions League.
Yeah, he bottled it, yeah.
Yeah, he bottled it. Yeah, he bottled it. You can say what you want, but he nearly got him there, mate. Right? But yeah, so like I'm just saying, like if we start to get that level of performances, look, it's not going to be pretty, and it's not going to be the football that we wanted. But we've cost ourselves a couple of years. Yeah, we've cost ourselves a couple of years in appointing the managers we pointed after we done Moyes. Like when we got rid of Moyes, it should have been a year earlier, and we should have gone and got someone progressive. We never done that. We got someone exactly the same as Moyes. We should have just kept Moyes if you're going to do that, right? But I'm just saying we're back to where we were, so we need someone. When Moyes ain't coming back, right? Moyes has been back here twice. He's going to be a mug if he comes back here a third time. He's with Everton. He's doing well with Everton. Good luck to him. Really good luck to him. But like everybody looks at Moyes through rose-tinted glasses, yeah. And we was having the same mistakes with Moyes. But listen, that doesn't mean Moyes was a bad manager and he was good for us at the time. I think give Nuno a chance, and we might get somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he deserves criticism, of course.
Yeah, of course. Everyone deserves criticism. Everybody.
But what would you do if
listen? The biggest mistakes when we look back at the Moyes tenure, right, was the fact that he let the squad age. Yeah, that was his biggest. That was his biggest thing.
He's one of the reasons we are where we are now.
And I totally agree with that. And that's by the end of it. That's why I wanted him gone. I sat on the fence towards the end, and that's what I said. But I see you got valid points. But the thing is, I don't remember Moyes making the mistakes that I've seen Nuno make in the short space of time.
He did.
Moyes never come into the club, right? When the first time he come in and the second time he come in and made mistakes that Nuno's made in the first 7 games or whatever it is.
Yeah, look, the mistakes have been horrific. I think the timing of Nuno coming in has been really, really tough. You know, we had probably one of the worst managers in Premier League history, probably in our history, right, in Graham Potter. And he's come in, sort of pick up the pieces from there, the awful business that we've done and tried to make sense. And look, some of it I can't even defend. I can't defend the Leeds lineup after the Brentford lineup. I can't defend any of it. But he's trying to learn his team. He hasn't been given his backroom staff, so he's trying to get to know his new backroom staff, which are the coaching academy lot. So look, there's a lot of reasons to give him time. And listen, call him out by all means. But if you sack him now, where the hell does that leave us as a club? What the hell do we do?
Like you said, there's nobody there because we know ourselves. If we were to get rid of Nuno, right, they're not going to pay for a manager to come in, right? So that ain't going to happen. So there's no point sacking him. But you can't keep doing what he's doing and costing us games.
Yeah, no. I listen,
and we can't keep on sacking managers, especially after they winning 2 games and drawing 1.
Yeah, listen. I get what you're saying, right? And as I said, when I've seen the comments about Moyes, right, and I get it, and that's why I said at the end I was Moyes out. I sat on the fence until near the end, right? I said we can't be being beat 4, 5, and 6s. I totally agree. Right, but this is what I'm saying. You can't justify the decisions that Nuno's making.
No, you can't. But I couldn't justify the ones that Moyes was making until I won a cup. So
I hope by the end of the season I'm proved wrong, and he comes out and proves me wrong. But at this point in time, he ain't doing that.
And then I can be reminding you of it, Scott, like I remind you that you wanted Kilman to be our captain. That's what I hope, because I love having that one over. So yeah, honestly. So let's before we touch on it.
Sorry, Dan. Billy Watson just said Potter didn't get it wrong. Nuno goes one step. He also said about I can't even see it anymore.
I didn't even understand what you Potter didn't get going.
No, I'm trying to read a different comment, but it's not. It wasn't that one. It's gone on my one. I can't see it because I'm not in creator mode. So
didn't get going. I mean,
he was saying that we're wrong about Moyes and he needed a proper striker and all that. Moyes had a good amount of time and a good amount of money to find himself a striker.
Yeah, he signed Scamacca, didn't he?
And Allaire. I think Pellegrini signed Allaire, but he couldn't. He signed
Scamacca.
Moyes couldn't get anything out of him.
Yeah, he signed some strikers, Moyes, but Antonio, I think, worked for him for a
Arne was the one.
That was a loss, mate. That was a loss. But yeah, so all right, let's get in the predictions then, right? Let's get in predictions for this Liverpool game. Scott, I'm gonna start with you, mate. Let's start with Scott.
Scott's already made his prediction. He thinks we're going to lose 3-0.
3-0.
Oh yeah. 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. I'm not having that. I'm not agreeing with that. I'm gonna say I predicted 2-2 against Bournemouth.
So did I, funny enough.
Yeah.
So did
Oh,
Ryan.
there you go. So he met your expectations.
Yeah.
He actually met your expectations. There you go.
As I said, this was the thing, Dan. On Friday night, I would have been happy with a point.
But the context, yeah.
The context. All it's about is context.
Fuck it. 2-1 West Ham. Nah, I'm having it. I'm having this. 2-1 West Ham. I was going to go for a draw. Nah. 2-1 West Ham. Right? They are on the ropes. They're in the mud, which obviously enter West Ham. But nah, we got to bounce back. If we have Somerville back, if we have Paqueta will be back, we should be a better team. And Wilson's on fire. 2-1 West Ham.
I am going to be very bold. I'm going to be very.
I don't like it when you're bold, Nick. It usually goes wrong.
No, fuck it. No, I don't give a shit anymore. Like, you know, people just accuse me of being negative. We're going to win 4-2.
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to win 4-2.
If we win 4-2, I think they will actually sack Slot.
I think we win 4-2, and I think he gets a sack.
Wow.
If we beat them like that, he will go.
Yeah,
he will go.
He cannot.
We've got beat 3-0 at home to Forest.
I know. But
yeah.
And do you know what though, right? This is what really pisses me off because I can sit there and know the fact that we can actually beat them.
I think we start to get into a groove. I think we get an early goal and we get into a bit of a groove. Bowen's on fire. Paquetá's on fire. Somerville's running ragged if he plays. Wilson's running ragged. And I don't think the defence... And I think it'll be to a point where we go 4-0 up and we'll take them players off and they can get two goals.
This is the thing. I think if we get that first goal, I think that will...
I think it's early. It comes early.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're in that mode right now where a goal can just,
collapse.
Yeah. And
Bowen's scoring in the first 8 minutes.
I think as well. I know we ain't been lethal from set pieces, but it's a massive weakness of theirs, defending set pieces. And we have got players that can score goals. Callum Wilson, for one.
Mm-hmm.
We've got threats in the box.
Yeah, but and this is the thing for us going into this game. We need to use our threats going forward and not try and defend. We can't sit back in this game. This is the thing. We sit back in this game, we will get punished.
Yeah. 100%. It's picking your moments. And for what we did against Everton was such a good example of that moments thing. We went in, we did sit back a bit. They got a goal, which was an awful bit of defending from Mavropanos. Then we switched it up. We turned it on, got the goal, and we kept it going. Mm-hmm. And then we actually then at the end of the game said, nah, let's sit back a bit. Let's try and get the point. It was their moments in the game. You pick your times. Whereas in the Bournemouth game, it's just, no, fucking, let's just sit back the whole way.
But no, when you say that, Dan, you look at the moments we had against Bournemouth in the first half. Do you know what I mean? We didn't take the game to Bournemouth. We soaked up a lot of pressure in the first half. Yeah. But we played higher up the pitch. Yeah, we were predominantly in our own half, but we gave our players a chance. This is what I said the other week when you look at Somerville and the runs Somerville makes. He's making a lot of them runs from his own half. If he's making them runs from their half or their final third, you're going to get more productivity out of it. Yeah. He's beating 3 players from his own half, and then he's there's no end product because he's knackered.
To be honest, I think it sounds mad to say, but I think I'd rather lose than see us play like we did in the second half. To see us offer absolutely nothing. Like for fans to have to travel to Bournemouth and watch a team do that, I think is an absolute disgrace. So I never want to see that again. I don't mind defending a bit, but to offer absolutely nothing going forward for the whole 45 minutes is an absolute disgrace. So I don't want to see that again. That's for damn sure. So yeah, listen, let's hope Nicky's predictions right.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really do. I really do. But I just know us.
Yeah, it's hard to ever be confident back in West Ham. That's for damn sure.
Especially when you play Liverpool in their worst run for like 60 years or whatever it is.
So let's quickly get into a bit of this Sufal stuff. He did an interview with I don't know who it was actually with, but the Athletic picked it up.
Athletic, yeah.
Thomas. I don't know if it was with the Athletic or they've quoted it from somewhere else. But yeah, so he spoke about a lot of things. But first of all, he started on like he's leaving West Ham. He said, I don't know why he wanted to see me talking about Potter. Then I thought it might be about me starting at Old Trafford because it couldn't have been about me not doing well in the sessions or being a bad presence around the team. That's when Potter told me the club wouldn't be extending my contract. I asked him why, and he said it was a club decision. Was it the manager who didn't want me, the board? I have no idea. It was very disappointing. Our conversation lasted about 30 seconds. 5 years at the club for 30 seconds. And that sums up Graham Potter.
Do you know what? Right?
Degree and all this bollocks, mate.
Yeah.
What a fucking.
That's very much a man who doesn't want to face his own decision making and blames the club for his choices.
Yeah.
You know, as we said, listen. We know we're not renowned for treating players really well. You know, we're not renowned for treating managers really well with the regime that we've got. But that just absolutely stinks of a man that don't want to face up to his own responsibility and say, "Listen, I don't fancy you as a player. I don't think you're good enough. I don't want you here." It's no, the club have decided not to renew it. It's the club, you know, because let's be honest. Out of all the players that they wanted to, Sullivan would want to keep is a player who's not on that big a wage, and Sufal was way underpaid for the service that he gave us.
He was talking about taking a wage cut. He was on fuck all money and was willing to take a wage cut to stay.
Yeah, I'm surprised Sullivan didn't march in there and kick Potter out at that point.
Yeah.
The problem is, and I think with players like that, is you can't replicate heart. You know what I mean? And we spoke about Souček this week, and obviously they come together, and they was a big part of the big transition into being a decent team. The two of them on their day were a massive part of it. They, you know, they brought something to the changing room. The two of them, like, you cannot underappreciate what them two done. And look, Sufal had bad games. He did have bad games. I watched him have bad games.
Yeah.
But there was no way on earth you could ever question whether he's putting his all in. You couldn't question that. And so, like, and when you think about the players we got rid of, people like him, Fornals, who just bled claret and blue, you know what I mean? Like, they was talking about getting rid of Tommy Souček, and you look at the spine of our team right now, we've got a bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of cowards. We've got a bunch of cowards running through the spine of our side, and.
We had a coward in charge, mate, and that's the thing.
Yeah, and that's the thing, yeah, and that's what cowards do. Cowards rid themselves of anyone with any authority who can question him or challenge him. That's what cowards do, and that's why we've got a bunch of people that can't even fucking talk to each other. You know what I mean? And it's took people like fucking Nuno to bring in Freddie Potts, who actually gives a shit, and that's what cowards do. Potter was a coward. Potter was a fraud. He was a fraud. And I didn't see it at first.
Mate, and this is why I called it out when we first signed him. I knew he was.
I didn't see it at first. And he was a fucking fraud.
I've been on Scott about the Kilman captain thing, but he was bang on. He did say it from day one about Potter, so I have to give Scott his credit. He got that one bang on.
The thing is with Sufal, right? Sufal, I think we had the best out of Sufal, right? I think going to Germany is probably a good move for him.
Oh, he scored after 2 games.
Yeah, that's it's a good move for him, right? He wasn't going to be a starter, but again,
That's fine.
he was the right person to have around the squad, and he was good cover.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the thing. And when you look at what Potter said to him there, the fact that he let Alvarez go, the fact that he let Emerson go, Emerson, who's doing wonders for Marseille, in the Champions League, and is it Champions League they're in? They are, aren't they? Was it Europa? I
Yeah, I
can't
think
one
so,
out of
yeah.
two. But
I think they're in the Champions League. Yeah.
I know the French league's a lot different to the Premier League, but he's still performing at the top level in Europe. You've got a born winner, a guy that's won everything in Europe, and you're not even like you don't have him in the squad, and that just reeks of what you were saying, Nick. Doesn't like players that know a bit more
Challenges
than him.
authority.
Yeah.
No, that's it, and that's the problem. He also points out that in January, Fulham made West Ham an offer, and it was a 2-year contract. But Potter and his sporting director, who he said he don't even remember what his name is, Carl McCauley, said no, I wasn't allowed to go. And then I got released. It was a strange decision.
Yeah.
And that just sums up, because we could have got a bit of money for him. He
Yep.
could have stayed in London, as someone pointed out. His boy could have stayed in the academy, because his boy was in our academy and had to get ripped out of that. Which was, it just sounds like it was a whole real devastating time, and it was handled with no care, no respect, no class.
That is
someone a great player.
That is probably why they fucking chose him, them people upstairs, because he's got about as much class as them.
Yeah, and that's why he's mates with Brady and that, and his wife's mates, and they're all intermingled and interconnected, and it's an absolute mess.
I heard he was a very awkward man to talk to.
I can imagine.
That's what I heard. A very awkward man to talk to.
Yeah.
But I didn't meet him. I can't attest to that. I can't say that. But I've heard people have met him. Someone said I'm on a come down. What do you mean I'm on a come down? I've been at work today. Where am I coming down from?
Mate, I've been on the piss.
Euphoria of working, mate. That's what it is. The euphoria of working.
I've been on the piss.
I had a little nap, and obviously I'm excited because I've been working here all day.
Right, then goes on to say about the training ground. I'm impressed with many things here. We have an unbelievable training ground, and it's not even possible to compare it to West Ham. There's everything you need. I love to stay at the training ground after our sessions are over. We have a swimming pool, 2 paddle courts. I'm blown away by how good it is. That's why the boys are in no rush to go home. It wasn't always like that at West Ham. I honestly wish they get a training ground like this one day. They need and deserve it. There you go. From a player, we've been having this debate for ages about the training ground. So it don't matter. Like, it's a big thing. It is an important thing. And you've got players now saying, like Hoffenheim, like from where they've been as a team, as compared to West Ham, the fact that they have a far better training ground, and he's saying there's no comparison, is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. I'm so glad he said it and he called it out.
But that's the problem. People don't. There's not enough players that call things out. When they leave the football club, and this is the thing. We know. We are an established Premier League side, but our whole setup, it's not Premier League, is it? Let's be honest. Their whole setup's like League 2.
But a lot of people, they don't. Once they leave the club, they don't really give a shit. That's the problem, right? And the one person who did call it out was Hugill. Jordan Hugill. He turned around and said he's seen League 2 clubs with training facilities better than ours.
Yeah. It's
and this goes back. It's the right investment. The right investment.
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
They won't make it. They'll never make it. And we'll always be behind everyone else. It's absolutely embarrassing, the facilities that we've got.
We should journey around the country, right? Visiting training grounds and rank how better they are than West Ham.
I would love to do that. If I could get in, I would absolutely do that. Yeah, it's shit, mate. He talks about there's another interesting point that he makes about the decline. West Ham. He says, I'd be lying if I said I was surprised when I found out Potter had been sacked. It was coming with the results not being good, the football not being great, and the club being in the relegation zone. What West Ham miss are characters like Mark Noble and Declan Rice. Their leadership was important to the change room, and other players like Aaron Creswell, Mickey, Antonio, and Angelo Ogbonna, who was released in June 2024, had a huge influence in the change room. They were the old guns. When you have too many foreign players in the changing room and they don't have someone they respect, it creates a problem. Jared is a great leader, and the club would be in an even bigger mess without him. But it's difficult to lead the team as an offensive player. Noble and Rice were midfielders and could see everything. If Jared wants to shout at someone, he could be on the other side of the pitch, which makes it harder. Noble and Rice were in the middle, so there were no hiding from them. Noble and Rice, we used to call team meetings if we were in tough moments. If Noble said something in the change room, you kept quiet and listened. No one would dare say anything out of respect for him. Rice learned from Noble and became a great captain as a result. Without a doubt, it'll be the next blah 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 blah. But yeah, so he's bang on about the culture, the change of culture in the dressing room, and what we've done.
And that's the thing. I think you see it in a lot of clubs where they have a big influx of foreign players and not enough players who we were saying this the other week. Players that understand the football club, understand the culture of the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? You've got to have a core group of players. Like you said, Ogbonna, players like that, who've been around the club, who were there at Upton Park, who know everything there is to know about the football club. You embody it and you become a leader in the dressing room. And I know we sit there and say not all leaders are shouters and screamers, but I agree with what he says. Having leaders in the middle of the park or having leaders at the back, because you can't hide from them. You can't, you figure you're in the, it's what I've always said, centre halves are great players to have as leaders because they see the entire game.
I can't see myself. Look, I'm in the corner, but my screen's gone black here.
No, you're right. You were black a minute ago, completely blank, and it was just a black screen, and now you're back.
We can see you.
All
right. But you're right. That's
I'm sitting here waving.
If you're an attacker and you're forward facing, a lot of the time, like you said, you can't see and you can't communicate. Maybe there's a left back that's fucking not pulling their weight. He is right in terms of positioning, and I can agree with that. But the criticism where Bowen said he's a shit captain because he's not a leader, I disagree with, and it seems Sufal disagrees. But positionally, I can't argue with that. And that is something. But also, like he said there, like the Ogbonnas and the Creswells, Noble and Antonios and all these players have been here for so long. That's such an influence.
Yeah,
we just culled them in such a short space of time.
You know what we've got? We've got too many people in this club that want to use this club as a stepping stone. Too many. There's a lot. I heard about the Diouf thing, and I think Tadibo feels the same. I think Paquetá's obviously going to move on at the end of the season, and all. We've got too many people like that don't really care about what happens at the end of the season, come the end of the season. And when you've got people like that, and I've mentioned a few names today, but with people like Cresswell and Sufal and all, they will fight tooth and nail for you when the chips are down. And that's why, if you go and watch my video on Thomas Souček, that man's legendary. Like people saying about they don't want to ever see him play for West Ham again and all that. People who say that about players like that are not like, they've not been watching West Ham long enough for me, because we've had some shit. We've had some shit in our team.
When people were saying that, I never understood that.
It's a disgrace people saying things like that.
Yeah, I think you said it, Dan, and I've said it. He has a place in the squad. Is he a starter? No, but is he a squad player? 100%. You know, and that's it. And that's because
and he proved it against Burnley.
Yeah, and we've said before, how many times have we needed something and he's been the one to pop up and do it? And that's it. And you can't. Granted, he's not going to be able to play forever. He's not getting any younger. He's not getting any quicker. But you use them players in the right way, then he'll still have a future at the club.
But do you know what is he did talk about the Souček thing, but as well, and like you said, it's Yeah, it's one of them things. It's another person that loves the club, gets the club,
Yep.
and really gets a bit. When he's talking about him when he defended him online when he had a pop at West Ham transfers. He said it's something I always wanted to do, defend Souček when I was at the club, but I always talked myself out of it. Now I have no issues arguing with fans on Twitter because they should appreciate the players, the fans. The right fans know the players care and want to do well, but when you've got some stupid fans on Twitter who try and bring negativity all the time, then you get those who are sheep and let opinions form their judgment. It was something. It was important to say something because Thomas doesn't deserve that criticism. Sometimes he will have good games and sometimes he'll have bad games, but you can't deny how much he'll fight for the club. Me and Thomas used to go training on our days off. We tried our best to help the team. After the final whistle went in Fiorentina, I ran straight to Thomas. Me and him really got the club, the people, and how important it was to win.
Yep. That bang on point.
Do you know what, though? And this is going to get harder and harder for West Ham. West Ham players that play for West Ham, the proper West Ham, fall in love with the club. Yeah, they fall in love with it. They fall in love with the fans. Craig Bellamy has been to Newcastle. He's been to Celtic. He says the best club he's ever played for was West Ham because he knew the players. He loved the club. As we move away from this era, from the Upton Park era, and we lose more and more fans, the club ain't the same. So they've got to find something to fall in love with. And so that's why, we have to start to form some sort of identity that they can fall in love with. Because at the moment, it's a fucking... And that is why we've got so many people that come here. Somebody said, we've got no ambition. They come here and they want to leave after 6 months. It's because there's no identity here. There's no direction here. There's nothing to fall in love with. The fans were at loggerheads with the owners. The owners were a bunch of pricks. We've got a fucking rented stadium. The training ground's a shithole. We haven't got the old sort of atmosphere like we did at Upton Park. There's nothing to fall in love with. So we have to form an identity. And that's why it's becoming so dangerous. And that's why it's getting worse and worse and harder for us to do well season after season. Because every season goes past, we lose our identity. We lose it. And it's harder and harder for people to fall in love with this club. And when you've got people like Graham Potter at the helm, and everyone that does love the fucking club, he's fucking off left, right, and centre because he don't want to be challenged in his opinion. It's a recipe for disaster, and that's why I think we should give Nuno a go.
Yeah, but this is why you need to then embody trying to get the youngsters to come through because the youngsters.
Yeah, that's right.
It's one of the only things that we have got left is the academy. The academy that has produced a lot of talent throughout the years. And that's the big thing for me is that you've got to start using. You saying about players using the club as a stepping stone. You can use the club as a stepping stone so long as you do it the right way. And this is it. We all knew. Look, Rice has got a lot of respect for the football club. We all knew Rice had used us as a stepping stone in extent because he was far too good for what the club was.
But look, I mean, Scott, look at
like a superstar.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, look at him. He is right. He is the best player in the world in his position at the minute. He's the best. 100%.
Yep.
And he was the best there. You look at him the other night against Bayern Munich. He is running the shop, right? And unfortunately, right, that's developed since he's been at Arsenal. Listen, he developed a long way here, right?
Yeah,
and now he's developed further. And that is why players like him have to leave the club. People like Paquetá are not going to get any fucking better when they leave West Ham. He wants to go to Flamengo, you know what I mean? Like, and it's not about the players. When you've got a player, and funny enough, I'm looking at Paul Ince at the minute, but when you've got a player like that, who they just outgrow the club, you know what I mean? Like in terms of no players bigger than this club, but I'm just saying in terms of like their ambition, it outgrows the ambition that this club have, and that's why I'm very fond of Rice. I know a lot of people ain't very fond of Rice. That man is the best player in his position at the minute. He run people. I see 3 years ago people slagging me off saying I thought he was going to be the best midfielder in the world, right? And I was going, oh yeah, he's better. Casemiro's better, and Kimmich is better, and all that. Mate, no one near him. Nowhere near. No one can touch him. Like, I'm sorry, but it's true. Like, and that's what. But I'm just saying, like, Declan was probably one that that needed to move for his career. He's Paul down to Nicky's. No, he's not.
Yeah,
I'm just
fucking
looking at
Declan
it.
Rice is. He's sharing a bed with him. The way he
No, but
goes
I'm just, but he just outgrew, and look at him. He's going to win Arsenal the league this year. He's the difference. He's the most important player in that side. They've got a team full of superstars, and he's the difference. And that's why people like him have to move. But when you've got people like, Sufal, who will commit to your club for forever and ever and ever, you shouldn't be moving them players on.
Yeah, this is where I have to.
Not that early, anyway.
I have to disagree with Nick here. He says I can't help but think Sufal was just sore he didn't get more money from the club. He earned a load compared to normal people. Maybe he should exercise some gratitude and humility rather than envy. I listen, Nick. I love you. I think you're massively wrong here. I think that a lot of reports that he was willing to take a wage cut. And the fact that he earned 35k a week is massive money compared to everyone else. But at the end of the day, got to look at it compared to what other players were getting. We played some absolute dog shit. We played some absolute dog shit players who didn't put any shift in. Much more. You got Ward fucking Prowse. You got fucking. I'd imagine Irving's probably on similar money. But the fact that they kept him on that low wage despite him performing and being a key player that won us a trophy, it's a disgrace. And one thing I just say is that despite that, he never getting more money. He went out and gave everything every single week.
He did.
And I think it's right for him to come out and say, as you say, there's no right way to tell him he has to go, but be a man. Be a man and say, listen, at the end of the day, listen, I respect what you've done. You just don't fit in the plans. We're grateful. You come out and say, nah, the club don't want you. Fuck off. It's nothing
to do with money. I'm going to tell you that now, because I'll tell you what it is to do with, and this I'll always agree with players on this. They stopped him from moving for no reason. They stopped him from moving. They stopped him from going to. He was down in the last 6 months of his contract. He had a 2-year deal at Fulham on the table, and they stopped him from moving and never give him a fucking game.
Yeah,
and that's why he's bitter, because now, when the 6 months were up, the offer from Fulham wasn't there anymore, and he had to move to Germany. He's got a lovely life in Germany and all that, but that is disgusting from the club. If you're not going to play him, it's disgusting from Graham Potter. The man wanted to play football.
He said in there his wife had to leave all of her friends. She was crying. His son didn't talk to him for 2 days because he's had to leave the academy, leave all his friends for the sake of a few months where they could have just sold him. It's absolutely disgraceful how they handled it, and couldn't even have the respect and decency to say, listen, mate, sorry about it, but thank you for working your ass off for me. He talked about that win at Man United that he played in, and it's just pathetic. And when you look at it, we do need to move on certain players of an age, but look what we've got now. We moved off Emerson, we moved off Sufal, we've got Wan-Bissaka and Diouf both going away for AFCON in a few months, and we've got just Carl Walker-Peters and Ollie Scholes, who we ain't seen in fucking God knows how long, as cover. You're telling me that for at least another season, Sufal couldn't have been a cover at right back? He can also play at left back. We've seen that. But there's no way that you can tell me that it would have been a terrible, shocking decision to have him as a squad player.
He wouldn't have done. He wouldn't have been bad to have a squad. Carl Walker-Peters has turned out to be a decent player for us, right? I think probably if you're getting Carl Walker-Peters in and moving Sufal on, I sort of get that. Yeah, don't agree with the way it happened, but I sort of get that.
Yeah, but Carl Walker-Peters also covers left back, Scott. So now we're asking him to cover.
Exactly. You could have kept Sufal and Carl Walker-Peters. Yeah, I'm sure Sufal would have been happy even to play third fiddle. But it was a very similar situation where we got rid of Emerson and got rid of Creswell, and then, like you said, we bring in Diouf, who's an exciting young talent. We know he's going off. And then Ollie Scholes, another exciting young. There's no experienced head. We saw how Ollie Scholes improved playing alongside Creswell, with the experience that he's got and that type of thing. You've got Emerson, as I said before, who's won everything. Great experience, great player to have, right mentality of a player to have around the team, and you're letting him go. And that was the big mistake there, because Emerson would have helped youth.
Emerson challenged Potter's authority. and I think that's why he left. So did Alvarez, I think.
Yeah, I tell you what, that fucking psychology BTEC ain't worth the paper it's printed on
No,
for Graham Potter. So there we go. Like, listen. So I'll always appreciate Sufal. I said someone that gets the club, and like I said, I appreciate when players come in and call out like shit, like the crap training facilities and shit fans have been talking about. Like, come out and say it, because we say it. People just think we're talking shit. When the fans say it, when the players say it, you think, fuck these lot. You know, it puts a spotlight on it. So yeah, listen, hopefully he can come back to the club one day in some capacity, because again, it's good to have people like that who get the club around the club. So yeah, good luck to Sufal, you know, and listen, it'll be interesting if his son goes on and becomes a world beater and you'll sit there and look, well, that's what we had to do, hadn't we? It would be typical West Ham, innit?
He becomes a new Danny Alves or like something like that,
yeah. So, but yeah, no, listen, good show, lads. Yeah, it's good to be back.
People slagging off my hat in the comments. I don't care though. I've already said now. It'll probably never come back again. I think this is the only appearance this is ever going to make.
He says, "Fifth slagging off my hat. I don't care." Then he goes, "It's probably
no, I don't care, but I don't wear it that often. I just got. I ain't had an haircut, but people slagged off my hat all show. So I think it's brilliant. This hat.
Well, listen. Hopefully,
it's a nice hat. It's a nice hat.
Cheers, mate.
He didn't mean it. Look at it. That's so insincere, Scott. Would you wear it, Scott?
No, I wouldn't. I don't like.
Oh, there you go.
People say someone said, "Is that my Christmas hat?" I've got another bucket hat. I'm going to wear that next week.
Look, he's gone to a couple of Oasis concerts. Now he's missed the bucket hat.
Do you know what? I've never been a big bucket hat fan. I really ain't. I've never worn them.
I've got my man got me a West Ham bucket hat, right, somewhere. He ain't down here. I literally looked at it, said, cheers, and gave it to me boy. Hey, bucket hats are not me.
Someone says disappearing. Is it disappearing?
No.
What?
No.
What's disappearing?
Yeah. I thought it might be because it had maybe a green screen on or something. It was disappearing.
Oh, yeah. You can't wear that on a green screen. Honestly. So, but yeah, listen, like, I'll be back. Watch along. We'll be back for Liverpool. That is going to be a big one. I don't know if Jason's going to be. I need to ask him if he's going to be on. Hopefully, he's
probably still in the gutter in Cyprus, isn't he?
No, he didn't come. It was International Jazz Week. It's International Jazz Week, don't you know, at my work. So I can't dare not be there for International Jazz Week.
Well, ain't every day International Jazz Day? What ain't Jazz International?
Apparently, it's just some fucking tough middle class shit he's got involved in.
So he didn't Jazz Week. What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like it's Intergalactical Sandwich Day. I can't come to Cyprus to have a drink.
It's basically a bunch of fucking toffs that are having a little bit of a vanity project, and on the side they want to fucking pretend they're fucking cultured jazz players. Bunch of wankers. So there you go.
Hang on, hold on. Sit and listen to jazz or go on holiday to Cyprus. Man, that geezer needs to sort his priorities right. I'll tell you.
He bloody well does, mate. But me and Damo and his nephew, we had a great time. Roasted each other mercilessly all week. Drank a lot.
What?
Roasted. Not. There's nothing in front of that. There's nothing. Whoa. But yeah, I'm back now. I'm still recovering, but I knew Paulie would. I knew Paulie would pipe up. So listen, hopefully I'm fully recovered for Sunday, and then we're gonna celebrate like crazy. And it's gonna be a busy month for West Ham fans. It'll be lots of football, lots to talk about. So yeah. But yeah, good to be back. Great show, guys. And yeah, have a good weekend, everyone. And one thing left to say, guys. Come on, you irons.